Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Bring Your Own Project Live. My name is Brittany Lewis. I am a professional illustrator and graphic designer, and Bring Your Own Project is all about working and co-working and chilling and listening to music together. Today I'm going to be working on the Four of Wands from my project, The Cosmic Gateways Tarot. If you like a little more chatty live stream where I give some explanation about what it is that I'm doing on the screen, why I'm doing it, why I'm making certain artistic decisions, join me on Sundays at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern for Paint With Me Live. Until then, I'm going to get the music started, but I would love to hear what it is that you're working on. So whether you're watching this live or the replay, let me know in the chat, in the comments, what you have going on today. And thank you so much for being here. So let's get started.
Yeah, they gotta have a white baseball cap on. Not at the time, but she said they both say mid-20s, kind of light blonde hair, light brown hair. We had them on deck. Look like
Okay, I think this is going to be the live stream for today. So I've been working on the Four of Wands, and I had did some of the sketches before the live. So I did some of the greenery because I knew that was going to take me forever and 3 days to do. So I did that ahead of time. But what I worked on today was to create the broom. So this is going to be a jumping of the broom ceremony. So right on time, Miss CRS, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations to her for being proposed to. That is so exciting. So what a timely card, right? So yeah, I pretty much just did the clothing for the models, and I used the 3D models as I tend to do in Clip Studio Paint because that helps so much. I also went and found some references for jumping the broom, which I really enjoy, and I was able to use them, especially with the male character, because when we're using or creating action within a pose, you want to make sure that the stress points in the clothes kind of support the action. So I was using that quite a bit in a couple of the references, but this is the reference that I came up with between Clip Studio Paint with 3D models, and then I found some images in Pexels that I just kind of slapped together. I went in Affinity. I didn't try to make it like mesh or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to place things where I wanted it to go. And as I started to sketch, and there's some changes from the references, but that's totally okay. But I just kind of wanted to place things, right? And so as I begin to paint this, then it'll be a little more cohesive, because if I'm looking, like, I can tell it's Photoshopped, right? But I just needed a reference, right? So I did that. And so when we come back next, either Sunday or next Wednesday. So I have not decided if I want to start a new set of cards on Sunday. So if you like a little more chatty live stream where I'm explaining what I'm doing, I may either be starting the new set, which will be the 5s, or I might just kind of jump into this. I know for a fact this one is going to take me a while, so I don't know if I'm going to let that bleed into Sundays or not, or just kind of keep it Wednesdays. I'm not really sure. But the reason I know it's going to take me a while is because all of the foliage, and I kind of did that. I set myself up for that on purpose, because for one, I like painting flowers when I can kind of get like really good details. I'm not great with landscapes or like trees and stuff in the abstract. I have a hard time with abstract. Oh, CRS says it's looking fire. Yes, it is a very timely card. I'm so happy for you, girl. Go ahead on. So I know, like, when I'm creating, for instance, when we were working on the 4 of Swords, I hadn't really, like, I did the trees and things in the background. I'll show you guys what that looks like, but I did it sort of in an abstract way, so there weren't any articulated leaves or anything like that, and it didn't have to be, because it was supposed to be in the background, the trees. But when it comes to like doing those abstract shapes, when it comes to trees and things like that, sometimes I struggle. Right? But if I can see like the leaves, for instance, in our reference where I can see the bushes on the trellis and things like that, I can do that a little bit easier. I don't know what it is with my brain. Even when it comes to like actual regular abstract art, I do struggle with that as well. So anyhow, as soon as this loads, I'll show you guys what the 4 of Swords looks like, because we finished that on the live stream on Sunday, which we broke up into 2 parts because child technology was doing its thing. So we had to take a break and come back right after the first part to finish up the second part. But I really like how this card is coming along. So after I take a break and have something to eat and all of that, the things that I'm going to be working on, so that if we do come back to this on Sundays, I want to get the faces right. Like, I have the heads sort of posed and tilted like I have in my 3D models, but the faces, I do want to be smiling and happy and like celebrating. So I did try to emphasize that in the way that the male character was posed, and using my other reference of the couple getting married, specifically the one with the green. I really liked how much action was going on within his coat, so it didn't feel as stiff as sometimes I get with the 3D models. They do tend to feel a little bit stiff. So I think putting the action in the clothes, both in the bride and the groom's clothes, I think is going to really sell this story of excitement. Of course, we're going to put some excited expressions on their face. So I'm really, really excited to see how this goes. So in this one, this is the 4 of Swords, which we finished up last Sunday. So I have some trees in the background, like they're serving their purpose. But when it comes to like that kind of landscape work or like abstract work, or just kind of doing forms and things like that, I struggle. I ain't gonna tell you no tale. I do. But if I can articulate it like I did in the 4 of Wands, then it's interesting. It is. Art is something else. So one of these days, I know that we've had some interest in doing some art lessons. I am going to be studying landscapes at some point. And so I'll kind of show you guys how I do that, how I kind of try to get better at certain things that I may not be great at. So if you like a little more chatty live stream, please join me on Sundays. So we'll either be coming back to this card, or we'll be planning for the 5s of the Cosmic Gateways Tarot. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see when we get there. But I do appreciate you guys for stopping in. PL CRS Creates, I really appreciate seeing you guys. I'm so happy for you. And if I missed you in the chat or in the comments, let me know what it is that you worked on during this live stream. And I thank you guys so much for joining me. And I hope you guys have a happy, creative, and prosperous rest of the week. And I hope that you guys are good to yourself. And CRS, I'm so happy. All right, y'all. I'll see you later. Peace.